All right, let's talk about something that gets a lot of people tangled up. Accounting versus finance. I mean, they both live in this world of numbers and spreadsheets, right? But what we're going to see is that their mindsets, their goals, they're actually worlds apart. So let's dive in.
And yeah, this is the heart of it. It's so easy to get them mixed up because they're both speaking the same language, the language of money. But here's the key. They are telling completely different stories. One is looking backward at what's already happened, and the other is looking forward, trying to figure out the future. And that one little difference, it changes absolutely everything.
And boom, here it is. Seriously, if you only remember one thing today, make it this. Accounting is the historian, meticulous, precise, documenting every single thing that happened. Finance, on the other hand, is the strategist. It takes all that history and uses it to plot a course for the future. One tells the story, the other writes the next chapter. So, let's start with our historian accounting. Its whole job, its entire reason for being, is to create a reliable, completely factual record of a company's financial past. It's all about truth and accurate representation above everything else. You can think of it like this. Every single time money moves, a customer buys something, an employee gets paid, a supplier's invoice comes in. Accounting is right there to grab that event, put it in the right category, and lock it into the record books. The goal isn't to ask, hey, was that a good move? It's just to state with 100% accuracy that the move happened. Okay, but even inside the world of accounting, there are two really different jobs. And it all comes down to one question. Who is the story for? Are we talking to outsiders who need to trust the company from afar? Or are we talking to the insiders, the people who are actually running the show day to day? So financial accounting. This is the one you've probably heard of. It's the official public report card, and it has to follow these incredibly strict rules. You might hear terms like GAAP or IFRS. Those are basically the universal rule books that make sure investors, banks, and regulators can all look at the numbers and trust that they're real. The core question here is super simple. What happened? Managerial accounting, though, is the company's internal secret weapon. It's flexible, it's forward-looking, and it's totally customized for the business. This isn't for the outside world at all. It's all about giving managers the inside scoop they need to ask questions like, how efficient are we? Which one of our products is making us the most money? It's the playbook for making smarter internal decisions. All right, time to switch gears and talk about our other main character, finance, the strategist. So if accounting just gave us this perfect map of where we've been, finance is the one that takes that map, looks at the horizon, and decides where we're going next, trying to navigate all the uncertainty that lies ahead. See, at its heart, finance is all about making choices. Any company only has so much money, right? That's what we call scarce capital. So the huge question finance has to answer is, where do we put that money to get the best possible return, especially when we have no idea what the future holds? It's all about risk and timing. And just like accounting, finance has two big jobs that operate on totally different timelines. One is all about surviving the next week, and the other is about winning the next decade. And you absolutely need both. Cash flow management is about the literal lifeblood of the company. This has nothing to do with profit on paper. It's about having actual cash in the bank to make payroll and pay your bills. It's a very short-term, super high-stakes game of making sure the business doesn't run out of oxygen. The core question is as real as it gets. Can we pay our bills on time? Now, this is the long-term, big picture side of finance. It's about taking that limited pool of money and making big bets. Should we build that new factory? Should we buy our competitor? Should we launch that new product line? It uses some pretty sophisticated tools to weigh the potential rewards against the risks and answer the ultimate question, how do we actually grow this thing? Okay, so we've looked at each of them on their own. Now let's put them side by side and really let the differences pop. This is where we get the historian and the strategist in the ring together, head to head.
Just look at this breakdown. The core logic for accounting is representation. It's about showing what is. For finance, it's all about choice, deciding what could be. The main verb for accounting is records. It records facts. For finance, it's evaluates. It evaluates options. Accounting has to follow rigid standards. Finance applies flexible models to predict the future. And of course, the big one, time. Accounting owns the past. Finance owns the future.
So after all that, you might be asking, well, which one's more important? And the answer is, that's the wrong question. You absolutely positively need both. They're two sides of the very same coin. One is the scoreboard, telling you the facts of the game, and the other is the game plan, telling you how you're going to win. This just nails the difference in mindset, doesn't it? Accounting is all about building this foundation of truth that you can absolutely depend on. Finance then stands on that solid ground and takes calculated leaps into the unknown, into the world of risk and opportunity.
Right. Think about it like a sport again. Accounting is the official rule book. It keeps you in the game, it makes sure everything is fair. But finance? Finance is the playbook. It's the creative strategy you design to actually go out there and win. You can't have one without the other.
And maybe this is the clearest way to put it all. Accounting speaks the language of the past, a language of records that are set in stone. Finance speaks the language of the future, a language of choices that haven't been made yet and the consequences that will follow.
So in the end, it's really a partnership. A brilliant strategist with bad information is just guessing. And a perfect set of historical records is pretty useless if you don't use it to make better decisions for the future. They have to work together.
And that brings us to a final thought I want to leave with you. In your own world, your business, your career, maybe even your personal finances, which voice needs to be a little bit louder right now? Is it time to be the historian and get all your facts straight? Or is it time to be the strategist and make a bold choice about what's next?